Hi everyone, welcome to my November TBR. Technically, I kind of don't want to have a TBR for this month. I just want to read whatever I want to read whenever. But there are like a couple of books that I definitely have to read this month. So I threw in a bunch of books that I also want to read or feel like reading just right now, and we're just calling it a TBR, and here we are. So let me talk about the books that I plan to slash hope to read. The first one is The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. So this is a book about a couple of people they work at a radio station. One of them is a producer and one of them is a news reporter, and they have to go on this show. So basically they create this show called The X Talk, where they are supposedly two people who used to date and then they broke up, and they're gonna talk about their own relationship and what went right and what went wrong and how they parted ways, while also giving the listeners advice, the people who call in some advice. And the catch is that the two of them never even dated. They weren't even remotely interested in each other before the topic of this show, the idea of this show came up. So obviously people get invested, they catch real feelings, a lot of stuff's about to go down. And I'm actually already a little bit into it. I'm reading it with a couple of people on Bookstagram and I'm 76 pages in, and I'm already having so much fun. And it's actually 1:20 a.m. at night, but I was hoping to finish it tonight. So let's see if it's gonna be sleep or if it's gonna be this story. So yeah, this is one book that I hope to read, and then the next book that I will be reading is, just a sec, The Poppy War. I bought the entire series and I am excited to start this because a bunch of people recommended, like really recommended this book. So I've got it, and again I will be buddy reading it with a couple of people. So this one's also a little bit like it's on the clock. I have to finish this, and I want to finish this. Before Bookstagram and before, I guess, kind of the internet, I didn't know that there were so many people who also enjoyed reading books, and that I could be excited about and talk about books with them. And it used to be just me reading in a corner of the room, being told to study instead, or maybe surrounded by a bunch of people who'd be like, I can't even read a single page. Like, why are you bragging about not being able to read books? I clearly am enjoying it. Do you think I'm gonna start? Do you think I'm gonna change my stance? Anyway, this is not about those kids in school. Yeah. So I really enjoy reading books with my friends and with other people, and especially like for my book club. So yeah, I'm excited to read this with them. So these are two books that I guess I'll definitely be reading this month. And then the third book that I want to read is Rising Like a Storm. I'm actually going to be rereading Hunted by the Sky first. I also did started without a bookmark. So I have to go and get a bookmark for this, like from my shelf. And yeah, I'll be rereading Hunted by the Sky, and then I'll be reading Rising Like a Storm, and I'm gonna have fun. I definitely want to read this book. I loved Hunted by the Sky, and I can't wait to see where these characters and the story goes next, especially with like the plot twist at the end of the previous one. I'm into it. So yeah, these are two books that I hopefully will finish, and then a more hopefully like a little less plausible but more hopefully, is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. So I received it like last month. I pre-ordered it and I want to read it. After The House by the Cerulean Sea, my expectations are through the roof, and I live on the 7th floor. The roof is does my ceiling count as the roof, or are we going to consider the 15th floor? Either way, expectations are pretty high. They are pretty high. But you can tell me if the roof is the 15th floor or the 7th floor. I just want another person's take on this. All right, feel free to tell me where the roof is, but the expectations are through the roof wherever it may be. So yeah, I want to start this, and look at it. It's so inviting. You look at this cover and you're like, I want to read that book. Why am I not reading this book? So yeah, I want to read Under the Whispering Door, and I'm going to be a little more careful of my table. And finally, a book that I would like to read, but I don't think I'm getting through. I've got a bunch of stuff I need to do in November. I won't be having a lot of weekends this month. Like, weekends exist, I just won't be free. So the final book that I hope, if there's time, I'll throw in is The Sundown Motel. I don't know why, I've been really craving like a mystery or a book where something's clearly very, very wrong, and we as the reader find out why. So yeah, I hope I can get to this one as well. Then there's probably going to be a book that we select for my book club. I don't know if it has been announced yet, so maybe I'll be reading, like, most probably I'll be reading that, because I do enjoy reading books with other people as they're also reading them, because I can then be excited about it and the other person knows for once what I'm talking about, and it's the best. It's really the best. So yeah, so if by the time I post this video I know what book we're gonna pick for the book club, I'm gonna put that down in the description section. Otherwise, this is my November TBR. So yeah, just yeah, I hope you can see it. These are the books that I hope to read in November. Thank you for watching this video. This is hopefully a very short one, although I can see 7.5 minutes have already lapsed, so who knows. There are probably dogs barking in the background. I'm so sorry, they do this at night. I completely forgot that if I record at night, the house will be quiet, but the dogs won't be. So maybe they're also excited about a bunch of books, and as dogs are, So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you stick around if you enjoyed this. Even if you don't, that's completely fine. Do whatever. The internet is yours to do as you please. And if you've read any of these and want to discuss them, definitely reach out to me. I would really like that. That would be fun. So yeah, that's it for tonight. It's 1:30 a.m. I have to clean up so many books. So I'll be doing that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.